Namaste.
Namaste.
Well, I guess I better turn on. Now I can hear. I didn't want to leave the silence this evening. Well, we have a guest this evening, Macon Shirley, a friend of Keith, also a friend of ours. Happy Macon. And then we have Heidi Mason and Barrett Mason. There's Heidi and Barrett. They were in our first ICIT that we ever gave in India. And now they're living in California, and Heidi's really settled in, you know, and her awareness is where they're going now. Happy to have you all. And then Toby is here. There's Toby. Okay, Toby. He was in our ICIT program this weekend. He's been Fredericksburg?
Roanoke.
Roanoke. Well, I'm happy. And then Noel is here from California again this week, so we're happy to have Noel with us. Well, who has a question that you've just been itching to ask? Anyone itching? Anything going on with you that you'd like to share, or any question at all, or anything to be addressed this evening? We'll take advantage of the time together to see if we can come up with some answers. I don't have any, but you gotta get in touch with the place where answers come from. Same place where questions come from. Some of you had some things written down on your sheet this evening, so let's pull up one, huh? Or I'll go get one. Huh? We have a pesky fly here.
The last pesky fly that was here, you ended up eating it.
I did?
I believe so.
So look out for
It was on video.
God. Goodness. I don't even recall that.
Ramana?
Yes.
It's over here.
Okay. Jan?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a question. I don't really know what it is, but I'm going to bring it up. It comes up whenever people talk about energy. And today when we were feeling the rock from Arunachala, I could really feel the energy in it, but it really feels like pulling in. And there are other times when talk about energy and it feels like it's, you know, like an anger kind of energy, or that explosive kind of energy. So what is that sense? Is that all in the body? What is energy really? Or what are we, when we're having these conversations, what are we talking about?
I don't know what energy is. It's consciousness. I don't know what consciousness is. It's the self. It's what is. Energy is consciousness in motion. Movement. Yes, I guess consciousness, it actually moves in one of two directions, or both directions simultaneously. Moves from the center to the circumference, and from the circumference to the center. just the movement of consciousness. Now, what it is, I don't know. It's what I am, but I don't know what I am, other than I am that I am. Now, we give names to all of that. It's what God is. What's God? We don't know what God is. God doesn't even know what God is. See, the definition of a thing is not a thing, is not it. You know, the definition is the definition, and the thing is the thing. So let go into the actually let go fully into that quality of not knowing. What does that feel like?
Bliss.
Yes, it's bliss, isn't it? Now we can understand them saying that ignorance is bliss. So let go into that ignorance of not knowing. You see, the mind does not like that, though. See how the mind rebels against that? There seems to be a built-in resistance to simply letting go into not knowing. An I rises up there and says, I know. Tries to assert its knowledge. Is that me beeping?
Nope.
It's my watch.
Oh, it's your watch.
I can't hear it. So I don't know how to go.
This is, usually I can't, but this time I can. It's interesting if we come in touch with this dynamic, say, of knowing and not knowing. It's the sense of I that thinks that it knows. Can we feel that?
Mm-hmm.
This sense of I that thinks that it knows and resists not knowing. Now this I that thinks that it knows, what is it? Does it know? Does this I that thinks that it knows really know?
If it's thinking, it ain't knowing.
It's thinking that it knows, But thinking that it knows is not knowing. That's thinking. Do we see that? And if we're identified with that, this thinking that we know, there becomes a defensive action there. It's the defending of the right to know, or the belief that I know. What's that feel like?
Trouble.
Doesn't feel at peace, does it? So the moment we take a position that we know, we have to also deal with the fact that we don't know. But it doesn't feel right. What feels important is to know. So we analyze, we compare, we investigate, we define, and when we define, that seems to give us a little complacency, huh? Because it's like if we define, that's indicating that we know. Look at a dictionary. Does a dictionary tell you what anything is? Dictionaries are cyclic. Try this sometime. Look up what a human being is. It says a person. Look up what a person is. And it says it's a human being. It doesn't tell us anything. It's just a definition. Now, don't misunderstand me. Definitions are helpful, but they don't give us peace. They don't give us fulfillment. They just ask more questions. I have 8 or 10 dictionaries. And you know what? Every time I look up a word, I get caught up in the definitions of the definitions of the definitions, sometimes to such an extent I forgot what was the first word I was looking up. And the damnedest thing, I can sit there and an hour goes by and I've been doing nothing but reading the dictionary. So we can really get in touch with what Bhagavan Ramana said. What is it to know all there is to know about everything and not know the nature of the one who knows? Not truly realize the nature of the knowing self. Can we get in touch with that? What if we knew all there was to know about everything, but didn't know the nature of the one who knows. I dropped that one on Elizabeth shortly after we met.
Ramana,
Yes.
that's not really knowing everything, though, if you don't know the nature of the one who knows, right?
If you know the nature of the one who knows, you don't need to know anything else. Because no other question comes up.
Well, it's like, if you know all there was to know about everything except the nature of the one who knows, what would you know?
Well, I guess it's just a different way of phrasing the question.
Ramana, I know when you asked me that question, it stopped the mind dead in its tracks. It didn't have a leg to stand on. And then the only thing that was left was the self. So when we just allow that state, that question to work and not analyze it, it does its own thing. Because I was feeling that's what just occurred. There was an analyzing of the question rather than being with the question and letting it rip you off. The mind won't let you be with that question, usually. Now, you came at me with it when I wasn't even looking, so I didn't know any better at the time. But I can see when you bring up that question, a lot of times we go off and analyze that question rather than really be with it and let it do its thing. Just like the who am I question.
It's the same question.
Yeah. Could you say it again so we can really be with it?
It's the same question.
No, I don't feel
Not knowing the nature of the one who knows and asking the question, who am I? If we inquire into that, it's the same inquiry. What is it to know all there is to know about everything? If we knew all there was to know about everything, but did not know the knowing self, did not know the one who knows, what would we know? Now, if we really consider that, this I that thinks that it knows but doesn't know itself, and that includes most doctors, doctors of philosophy, you better get away, fly. Why does this fly after me? There's a room full of people here, fly. Go after one of them.
You became one with the last one.
That last fly had very good karma.
Get in touch with the I that asks questions. You better watch out, fly, if she gets after you. Get in touch with this I that knows and doesn't know. Don't think about this I that knows and doesn't know. Get in touch with it. To get in touch with it means grasp it. Grasp it with your attention. Hold it with your attention. Can you? Can you hold it with your attention?
Yeah.
Do you see how it doesn't want to be held? Now, we say we love to be held. But this eye doesn't want to be held. Because it means that it has to stop. What has to stop? If it stops, what stops?
Thoughts.
Yes, the thoughts, mind stops. And see, it's mind moving that is energies. Again, definitions, but it brings us close to at least the question. What happens when the mind stops?
Enlightenment.
If the mind really stops and remains stopped long enough, what happens to mind?
It's gone.
Take a hold of the eye so that it doesn't move. Right now, do it. Take a hold of eye. Take a hold of the feeling of eye so that it doesn't move. Now there's one of two things happening. Either a tremendous buildup of pressure, of tension, as this eye is trying to break free. It's like an animal that you're holding that wants to get free. Or if it stops and lets go and surrenders, a great peace. Continue to hold the eye and see what's going on behind it. Hold it and then just observe what's behind it. What's prior to it? What's back of it? Or beyond it? Just do it for a second. Now it takes intense effort. You have to focus on nothing but this. It doesn't give room for any other thoughts. Just this one thought, this I thought. You notice as you're holding a tremendous buildup of energy? And this buildup of energy, it wants to move, it wants to externalize, it doesn't want to go back in, it wants to go out. You see it? You feel it? Hold on to the I thought alone. Don't give room to any other thought other than just the I thought. Just the I thought. Nod your head if you're doing it. Now, taking a hold of the I thought, push it through itself. Push the I through thought back in to itself, into itself and through itself. May take up maybe resistance, sort of like blowing up a glove. And you have the fingers pop out. You pick up one of the fingers and push the finger back through. Are you with me in the analogy? You notice there's a resistance to it. There's a pressure against it. But go ahead, push it through. And pop the balloon. Push it on through. Push the eye right back through itself. And what's there? Push it through until the resistance stops. Until there's no longer any force or energy against your effort. Are you with me? You get a flavor of what's there? Yes.
It's difficult for me, Ramana. It's totally the tension. Yeah, it can't go inward.
You're doing it? If you push the I back through itself, back into that out of which it rises, eventually the resistance stops, which is the energy compelled to externalization, to objectifying.
The knot is gone. I don't feel the knot anymore here. There's a tremendous tension and I couldn't get prior to it. Now it feels warm.
Move on back into the very source of the I itself, into the source out of which the I rises, into the pure consciousness. What do you discover there? What's there?
Yes.
A relaxed feeling, peace, a full nothing.
Yes. Baron?
No arrogance that I felt before.
Whatever you were thinking about, doesn't matter what it was disturbing or otherwise, huh? Is it there anymore? You see, whatever it was that was disturbing, it was dependent upon the I that was already defining and saying what the situation is. The upset. Whatever the emotion might have been. See, the anger, fear, embarrassment, guilt, shame, worry, concern. Just by going through this simple process. Be with it now. Don't get to thinking about it. Stay with the eye. Stay with the eye and just push the eye back through itself. You see, ordinarily, when we get in a state of upset, the mind goes into awe and analyzing everything about the upset, doesn't it? All kinds of shit comes up to be analyzed, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To worry about, to get angry about, to be justified about, to rationalize, to define it even further. Doesn't it? Look at it, watch it. And it seems like it's almost a compulsion to do that. A compulsion to get caught up in all of that. When what we really want to be is at peace and free of that. Someone says something you don't like, or does something you don't like. The mind rises up in compulsion to analyze it in a negative way. Doesn't it?
Yes.
Now, rather than do that, you can take charge right here, see? If you'll take charge right here, rather than do that, and ask yourself, what good does it know all about this, and if I don't know the one who knows this? See? Let me get in touch with the one that knows all of this shit. Where does it all come from? It's out of the past, isn't it? It's just past. All of the past angers, all the past fears, all of the past guilts, everything associated with that. Doubts. What did he mean by that? What does she mean by that? Now, isn't this far more significant than going out there and bringing all that up and going through it all and running through those tapes of memory? Playing all those tapes? God, they're all coming tonight.
Hoping not.
What else was it we thought needed satsang? Be with me in this process. Be with me. If you really stay with it and push the eye back through itself, take it all the way to the source, where does it lead? See, not an answer, who am I? Not well, I am this, I am the son of so-and-so, or the daughter of so-and-so, I'm a human being, male or a female, blonde hair, brunette, blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes. None of all of that. Not definitions. See? Don't look for definitions. Look for the source. Look for the source. See? Now, if we do that, all kinds of things come to mind. Let me bring the things that come to mind up. You just do that. See? Such as seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and everything else will be yours as well. That's what Jesus said. Where do you get that? Where do you seek this source, Jesus? Where's God? Where's God's kingdom, Jesus? Don't look here or there. It's not coming with signs to be observed. Neither will they say, lo, it is here or it is there. It's within you. It's within you. It's the source of consciousness itself. The source of consciousness itself. What is consciousness? I is conscious. If I was not conscious, could anything else be going on? Right now, if I was not conscious, could we even be aware that we're here together having this assembly in conversation? Could we? Could we at all?
No.
Do we get this? Do you see how basic this is? If I was not here, if there was not the sense of I here, could you be happy or unhappy? Either.
No.
Could you?
No.
Could you be angry?
No.
Could you be afraid?
No.
Could you be worried?
No.
Or embarrassed? Could you?
No.
If there was no sense of I here. If you had no sense of I, could you?
No.
So, you see how important this quest into the I is? And going into the source of the I? Because the I must be before anything else can be. Mustn't it? Look. Don't take my word for it. Look. If the I is not, is there anything else? Is there?
No.
You say, I don't know. Who doesn't know? It takes the I there to say, I don't know. You see? It takes the I there to say that I do know. So don't get involved in what I know or don't know. Get involved in the I and in the knowing of the I. And it's not really the knowing of the I either, because if you go into the finding out to know the I, you can't know the I. You can only be the I in its purity. That's not a knowing, that's a being. So you push the I back through itself and see what you know. All you know is nothing. Well, when you know nothing, what do you know?
Everything there is to know.
You're at that place, aren't you, where it can be revealed. It'll all be added unto you. Be at that place where it can all be added unto you. That's His righteousness. Yes.
Is that knowing the same as what would be called intuition? Or like, you must be in the self, or must you be in the self to truly experience intuition, the knowing of?
Yes, prior to the mind, free of the mind. Because the mind is only going to bring up past. It's only going to analyze and compare. And there'll never be an end to that. But intuition is direct. It's pure. It's immediate. It's right here. You're like, yeah.
And there's no question about it.
No question about it. See how these evenings work? I don't have any answers. The reason I don't have any answers is because I don't have any questions. And usually before the evening's over, we touch upon every question that was asked. You ever noticed?
Yes.
Almost every night we'll have one or two or several that will say on the participation sheet, you were talking right to me tonight, and I was. Well, I'm glad I was. And that's true, I was, because you're the only ones here. Do you get that? Is there anyone else here if the eye is not here? Huh? Is there anyone else here if the eye is not here? So simple and so basic, and it's so overlooked by the masses. By the masses, it's overlooked. If consciousness is not, nothing else is. What is consciousness? Consciousness is the sense of I. What is this sense of I? That was Moses' enlightenment, Moses' revelation. The only place in the entire Bible written in all capital letters. I am that I am. I am that I am. That I am that must be before anything else can be is the I am that I am. Feel it. Don't think about it. That's not a thinking. I am that I am is not a thinking. You get that? Thinking is stinking. Don't think it. Be. Be. Be the consciousness that you are. Be this consciousness of I am. Be it right now, this moment. It's at hand. It's always at hand. If it wasn't always at hand, there wouldn't be anything. You see how it pulls you into a center? Can you feel it? This is an experience now, not a thought. Don't think it, be it. Right now, be the experience. Be the experience. Feel the experience of being this I am at the source. This I am at the source. Push the I back through itself into the I am at the source. And partake of that quality. Partake of that very nature. Let that very nature flood. Let it come forth and flood your very being. Is this worthwhile? Now, Paul said in the Bible, pray without ceasing. I said, shit, Paul, I got some things to do. Can't be praying all the time. Oh, you can, if you know how. Just be aware that the awareness must be before anything else can be, and stay in that awareness. But I got some questions to be answered. Who does? I have some problems that need to be solved. Who does? That's his righteousness. See? Seek first this source. Stay in this seeking first, all the time. without ceasing. Never giving it up. Never, ever giving it up. I'm not bullshitting here now. I'm sharing it like it is. He said, but I've got other things that are more important. Oh, you do, huh? You've got something that's more important? How can anything be more important? Share it with me. How can anything be more important? Well, I got things to do. I got work to get done. How can you do that work if there's not this I am there first? Jesus said first, not second, not third, not 10th, not 13th. First. Now his righteousness means a total alignment with. An absolute and total alignment with. In alignment with. Okay? In alignment with. A total merging. A total letting go into. Absolutely. And then what? What's the result of that? Well, what do you need? What do you want? What question do you really have? What difficulty? See? What problem? Do you have this camera backed off of me where you can see me? Good. You're not really seeing me, you're just seeing this body, but you get the point.
Got it.
Y'all with me? Are you feeling with me?
Yes.
You notice the problems seem to kind of evaporate? Doubts evaporate, questions evaporate, difficulties evaporate. Have you noticed? Do you have a problem?
No.
Come on, let's create a problem here. I mean, do you see it takes a little effort to find one? Just abide right here in this quality. Now, of course, it's a little easier here in this company. But nonetheless, even though it's easier here in this company, it's not without you. Because who's here in this company? It still cannot be going on without you. Now, is anyone here looking for justification? Justification for your own existence? Do you need some confirmation that you are? Are you doubtful as to whether or not you're good enough? Now, isn't that a crock of shit? Huh? Are you all with me?
Yeah.
If you're not, nothing else can be, so you got to be good enough. Look at there, confirmation. Back in the early days, back when AHAM first started, you were around, Rick. Every time we'd have a seminar, I mean, it'd thunder and lightning like crazy, didn't it? Every time we would have a seminar, it would thunder and lightning and just raise hell. And it'd rain and clear the air, you know. We'd walk out just feeling refreshed. Move into the source of your own being and just be. Takes a lot of energy, because you see, energy is moving from the center to the circumference habitually. But gracefully, it's moving from the circumference to the center. We don't ordinarily recognize grace, we ordinarily only see habit. Make the distinction between habit and grace. Grace is ever present. She's one of my best friends, Grace. And there's just as much power, in fact there's more, in the inward flow than there is in the externalized flow, but you see it's overshadowed by the habit of the externalized flow of consciousness. Look and see how strong this externalized flow of consciousness seems to be, only because it's so easy for you to take it up. It seems to be so ordinary to take it up. You get it? But if you didn't take it up, if you just be still and observe and watch, what's going on is an internalized flow. The grace is there. Now lock into it, see? Move into it and let it bring you into the source. That's Satsang. It's always present. It's the self. It's the pure I am that always is before the I is. If the I am was not present, the I couldn't even rise up. Now, the name of I am, or the I am is the name of, anyone know? What's God's name? According to Moses, huh? Exodus 3:14, 15, and 16, right along in there. I am is my name, and let it be known until all generations. I am has sent you. I am. In other words, God's name is not God. God's name is I am. Feel it, feel it. Feel this presence. Feel this energy. Feel this consciousness. What is it? It's I am. What's that? I don't know. It's just I am. Sure feels good. Sure feels better than I ain't. You noticed? And Bhagavan was very emphatic about it. I am is far more significant and far more important than I am not. Consider I am, not I am not. I am he. Shiva him, Shiva him. See? No, it's Shiva hum, Shiva hum. Soham, 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 soham. I am that. I am that. Feel it. I am that. Let go into I am that. Just let go into it. That's a major mantra. Soham, soham, soham. A major mantra. It's a power mantra. Feel it. Feel the soham. I am that. Feel it. It brings you right into the heart, right into the core, right into the place of peace. See there? It's a celebration. So the heavens are celebrating. Feel it. You notice the peace? Can you feel the peace? And in that peace, you're free. Do not go with the externalized flow of consciousness. Just remain free in the I am. And that's the only place where there's enough. Nowhere else is there enough. You go out into the mind and into thought, there'll never be enough. And if there's never enough, when there's not enough, do you feel good when there's not enough? It's enough what? Shit, enough anything. There's just not enough. Huh? But in the I am, finally there's enough. Now if there's a movement into the habit of externalization, and you go with that, you've lost it. See, you've lost the fullness. You've lost the completion. You got trapped again. You got caught again. See? You got tricked. See? You got traduced. Cheated. A thief came along and stole your freedom, your fullness. That thief, that traducer, that liar, that cheat. Oh, wonder what that is. Don't go there, but look. See, don't go there, just look. Just get it. Just get it without going there. You don't have to go there. You don't have to jump into the shit to know that that's shit. Do you? Is it necessary to jump into shit to know that shit? But you can observe, you can see it for yourself, and remain in the freedom. To remain here in the presence. Are you all with me?
Yes.
Now breathe. Breathe this quality. Breathe this quality. Inhale it. And exhale it. Inhale it and exhale it. Feel it. Really feel it and breathe it. Intentionally breathe it, and as you do, just let it bathe your entire being. Be totally bathed in it, see? Receive ye the whole spirit of it, see? That's taking it in. Fully take it in. Receive the total spirit of it. You see how freeing that is? Now we know what JC was really about. Don't tell this to the Christians. Just keep it secret. Christians won't listen anyway. They think they already got it, see? They already know. See, they know without knowing. You got it? But don't know. Be. Be. That which is in you is greater than that which is in the world. Oh, isn't it? It really is. It truly is. It genuinely is. I and the Father are one. Yes, I and the source of being are the same. Yes. Feel it? Feel it. Be it. No beliefs. Has nothing to do with believing. This is being. Got it? How does it feel?
Wonderful.
Namaste.